Since both slides are designed, let's establish a connection between them with nice animations. Okay, now comes the fun part. I've been waiting on my own for it. The animation will be easy but very effective. I select all of the icons. I go to animation. I open the animation pane. I see there are already some animation, but I want to get rid of everything besides, of course, the titles. So I delete the animation from the icons. I close it up and I select the first icon. I make it fade after clicking. And I want the text to peek out of it. So I simply click on the text. I hope I select peek in from here. No, I don't. I'm sorry, I have to go by hand. I go peek in and it should peek out of it. So from the top. And I want this to happen with previous. So as I click, the icon appears and the text peeks out of it. Then I select the connector. And always remember, when you work with lines, the best animation is simply wipe, because it can wipe from left to right. I go to the effect options and I go from left. This will be the second click, and with the second click I want the icon again to fade. With previous, I select the text. Once again I go to more entrance effects, peek in, and now it should peek from bottom. That's right. And it starts with previous. So once I click, all of this appears. I go to the next one, wipe from left to right, and this will be the third click. I could go to the animation painter and simply paint the animation over. Then select the text and animation painter, paint it over, and as you see, I don't have to click with previous because it has painted all the options there are to it. So I go to the second slide and I do the same. Wipe from left to right. I should delete the 3 animations. Simple fade for the icon. Peek in for the text, and let me quickly fill out the rest and we go to the last step, which will be the transition. So as you see, everything is animated, also the last line as the last click, and we only need to do one thing to work everything seamlessly between those two slides. It's a transition and it's called push. The first slide can have fade because it can fade from the previous slide. But between those slides, so the last slide has to have a push transition. In this case, we want the effect to go from right because we want the old slide be pushed to the left and it will look as if this slide continues here. If you would have a timeline which goes from the top to the bottom, you should simply select from bottom, I guess. So let us preview now. How does everything look? I've also gone to the second slide and we should delete the animations on the header here because we want this to appear immediately and focus all of the animation on the timeline. Now, if you copied everything like I did, watch now how pretty it looks. The timeline starts to appear. Once I click, I can explain what happened the next year, the year after that, and the last click makes the last line appear. Watch now how it transitions nicely between them. I click and the timeline follows. You can always go back and forth between the slide. It will always be nicely animated and I can continue until I reach the end of my timeline. You could change the connectors, change the icons. The timeline can also go from top to bottom, but as you see, the possibilities here are endless and it looks way better than just one slide. And as for a PowerPoint presentation, this is a great feature, a great possibility to make slides more interesting, and timelines are used very often, so I recommend you to use it. I hope this was very useful for you and see you in the next lesson.